Good evening, everybody. Today, our group will discuss about was Donald Trump jury controversial and sentiment analysis from 2009 to 2021. Our group includes me, Freddie, Jasper, and David. And you can see on the first slide here, there are some tweets from the time I proposed. The way he communicates often makes the people feel like he very straightforward
Nobody's stronger than me.
and honor his individualism. And Donald Trump's ideology is often described as populist, nationalist, critic, with elements of conservatism.
Nobody loves the
In the
Bible more than I do.
introduction, we will give you two reflections. His speech during his presidency is seen as hateful and derogatory expression as a persistent challenge in American political and cultural discourse. However, when he still won the majority of people when he still won the election, Homeland and Score 2019 proved that Trump's speak rely on three main strategies. Firstly, he highlighted current issues. Then he blamed political actors for society problems. And lastly, he proposed a pathway to restore greatness through an outsider candidate. So there are three main periods that we will analyze throughout the presentation from here to the analysis to the result. Pre-election, election, and post-election. And I put some literature reviews here, and you can see it's the hot events during the time, and there can be seen as the very important connection with the final results. Let's get started with the 2012. Trump started the controversy by saying that Barack Obama was not born in America. In 2015, Trump called for temporary ban on all Muslims entering the United States, also sparked outrage, both domestically and internationally. In 2017, he labeled some mainstream media outlets such as CNN or New York Times, big name, right, as a fake news. In 2020, Trump's response to COVID-19 was criticized one more time. He didn't take it seriously at first, stressed the unproven treatment and argued with health experts, causing a lot of confusion. So the research question here is, how much did Trump's social media sentiment fluctuate across three time periods: pre-election, election, and when he was in the office? So in this paper, what we will provide to you, in this report, we will use words. Is it bidirectional encoder representations from transformers? It's a type of NLP model developed by Google. And Bird can understand the meaning of the words of sentence by looking at all the work that come before and after them. But it's like a detective for computer, helping them figure out the words mean by looking at the words around them to get the whole picture. So in the rest, we will expound data introduction, model selection, and then we will deploy the model and give you the result and explain the result. And last but not least, we will lead you to the qualitative explanation.
Data and research design. So we basically have the independent variables that will be the different time periods. So pre-elections and an election period, and then the presidential period. And then the dependent variable will be the negative positive proportion of Trump's tweets. So
Pretty good.
So we'll be doing sentiment analysis, just to clarify. So yes, our target data, so the data that we want to do the prediction on, is Trump's tweets that were provided by the professor. So 56,000 tweets, over 56,000 tweets collected between 2009 and 2021. And the tweets over time are displayed here on the right. Training data, so we want to train a machine learning model. We'll get to that.
I just need to train.
We'll get to that later, but we need training data, obviously. So we found this Sentiment 140 data set. It has over 1.6 million tweets. It's labeled as gold on Kaggle, which means it's a good data set. Many people use it. So the data set was actually created by searching for emoticons. So all the emoticons that had all the tweets that had happy emoticons were labeled as positive, and the sad ones were as negative. So obviously you can have some objections against this method, but these people used it, and it appears to be a quality data set. So we're using that one, especially because it's also tweets. So that's especially relevant for us. So we took a random sample of 100,000 tweets. And then, we split it for test and train 80-20. So 80,000 posts for training, 20,000 for testing.
Let the bot battle begin.
And then we get to the machine learning models. So we're facing off SVM that we use for our coding assignment, and BERT based on case. So BERT is a model developed by Google. It's based on transformers. It's a lot newer. So it's the same kind of architecture, underlying architecture as what ChatGPT is made from. So we're letting these models face off. So we trained both of them, and we tested both of them. So for the SVM, we did the same pre-processing steps as we did in the coding assignment. So I chose the one without pause filtering because that one had the highest accuracy. And for BERT, we didn't use any pre-processing because BERT needs a lot of context. So even something like Twitter handles can help BERT in making its decision. So you can see the accuracies here on the right. So we trained BERT on both 1 epoch and on 3 epochs. 1 epoch had the best accuracy. So it costs around $3 to do the training, especially for the BERT because it's so big. So it scores significantly higher than the SVM. So BERT scored 0.834 and SVM only scored 0.75. Now, after that, we uploaded the model to Hugging Face. So basically anyone can now use this model. You can access it straight from Python and deploy it for your own machine learning tasks. So this is our contribution to the community. And then step 4 will be to actually classify the tweets.
Last chance to make an impression on the judges. Oh, big hit there.
So following our sentiment analysis, we discovered an overall dramatic increase in negative sentiment following his arrival into politics starting around 2011. Before 2011, almost all of his sentiment is positive, but as he goes along and starts entering politics or like thinking about running, then he starts to become more controversial. So here we can see it in more distinct periods. From the pre-election, like I said, it's almost all positive until you hit the spike of when he first enters. Then it makes it about half at the peak. Then as he enters the election, so in June 16, he announces his election in 2015. And so then after he gets elected, now his sentiment is balanced between positive and negative, with slightly more positive, but still sits around half about the whole presidency. We qualitatively examined some of the quotes from the tweets that he made across the different time periods. So I took some sentiments, positive, and then some negative sentiments. This one is prior to political arena, and then starting to enter the political arena. So here were 3 of his positive sentiments, and you can see they're kind of like inspirational type of quotes before he starts becoming political. He's mostly he enters the race, and he has more balanced. So here I took some samples from 2015 to 2016. This is during his election. We can see it really reached a level of complexity when he enters office. So if we remember that when he enters office, it's more the spikes in positive and negative are less severe. So here are the conclusions. When he entered politics, he dramatically increased the negative sentiment. Campaigning involved a higher variation in positive and negative sentiment. And then once he got elected, the proportion started to even out. He used a mix of positive and negative together. Qualitatively, it appears that the complexity also increased. The negative sentiment. Campaigning involved a higher variation in positive and negative sentiment. And then once he got elected, the proportion started to even out. He used a mix of positive and negative together. Qualitatively, it appears that the complexity also increased. So what are some limitations of future directions? So the limitations are that the dataset included not only tweet, occasionally had Instagram, Facebook as well. So this muddied some of the waters. Another one is that retweets were included not only tweets, but from the president himself. There were a lot of retweets in there, or it seems like comments. Like I guess people can comment on each other's tweets, and then it picked up some of that data. So it could have messed with the sentiment scores when it wasn't really from him. There are also, I noticed, several false positive and false negatives where it would say that the score was negative, but actually it was neutral. Binary coding is limiting, so saying it's something positive or negative doesn't really capture, as you can see in some of them, he used like a lot of mixing of positive and negative together, or occasionally he would say something very neutral. Sometimes that he uses like coded language, which makes it hard, where it doesn't seem like a negative or positive, but really it's got negative undertones. And the model doesn't measure complexity. I had to do it qualitatively. I think a model that could account for the complexity of speech would also be used
saying
like parts of speech.
no.
So
No.
future models could still code sentiment.
No.